Well, welcome to the July fanzine, and excuse the wallpaper behind me. We are actually in my office bringing you a bit of candid Cook, I guess. Ian said go for it, talk on whichever subject you feel is of our time, and of course of our time in July as we look forward to hopefully a nice summer holiday full of speedway, is a lack of fixtures up until this date, and a chance to set the record straight on why that is, and also what can be done in the future to prevent the club, the fans, the riders from suffering these problems again. Put quite simply, we've lost 4 of the last 5 Fridays to various reasons, but all have compounded to mean that we've run no speedway. It's not great for the club, it's worse still for the supporters, and we have a great August to look forward to, but I think this season will be remembered for this gap, as it has been certainly the worst I can remember. Going through the reasons, of course, the first Friday came like a bolt out of the blue. The cancellation of the 11th of June left us with no option, or when the FIM wouldn't move the practices for the Danish round of the qualification. It put Kaki and Jonas Davidson in an awful position. We wanted them to ride for us, but they needed to test their new silencers, which of course are used in FIM events only, and thus we lost them to having already been aware that Lee Richardson wouldn't be able to make it to Italy in time. We'd had Scott Nichols lined up as a guest for Lee. We had Lena Sundström ready to take over from Paul Hurry, who was injured at that time. You'll remember, it seems that long ago now, but of course to go without Kaki and Jonas would have been impossible. The 18th of June duly arrived, with England playing appallingly in World Cup football, and of course it's only the very hardcore speedway supporter that's going to make it to any speedway track when England are live on telly, particularly with the amount of ballyhoo and spin put on every World Cup from the press and the media. It almost feels like heresy not to sit at home and be punished for 90 minutes of abjectly poor football from a bunch of overpaid egomaniacs, but thus is life. Of course, we were back racing on the 25th, but the first 2 weeks in July, the 2nd of July, again, the FIM World Championship qualification reared its ugly head. Kaki, JD and Lee, all in action, would have all missed a meeting we would have put on the Friday. Of course, as things transpired, both Kaki and JD were out of their round in Russia through injury, and Lee was to fall by the wayside in his qualification, but as bad as that is for those riders individually, of course, that's good news for this club if we maintain our no Grand Prix rider policy into next season. And last weekend just gone, many of you headed to Cardiff to enjoy the Cardiff Grand Prix, and of course as a result we chose not to run. Always a difficult one to weigh up, but the residing fault this year was that many of our senior staff actually take part in the Cardiff experience, working to give you all such a memorable Grand Prix, and it wasn't fair to put them in a position of missing their home meeting. And of course we listened to the fans, many of whom have made it very clear to us that they wouldn't be able to come to our speedway on the Friday. Also, has to be said, the only team willing to visit us on the Friday was Eastbourne, and I don't know about you, but 3 visits in a row for the Eagles was pushing enthusiasm a little bit too far. But anyway, we're back now. We may have to miss, of course, 2 more Fridays because of the Speedway World Cup, but thankfully Sky Scheduling sees us on the Monday directly after the World Cup against Poole, and we are racing our off-race night on the Wednesday against Coventry, as we have to, as they have seniority on the Friday. The answers, well, there's a few answers: better representation or stronger representation at the FIM. I think that will happen in the years to come, and perhaps if you can't beat them, join them. How about the FIM allowing British Speedway to hold 2 qualification rounds for the World Championship on a Saturday with the riders, the top riders that race in the Elite League from all nationalities? That way it would not affect any of the current Elite League venues, and it would give us 2 super meetings that I'm sure fans would want to attend, and would certainly help to solve a few of the problems that tracks are experiencing. Long term, I think Speedway needs to look beyond the fact that it's the same group of riders riding in the same 3 leagues, and the top riders, of course, again in the Grand Prix competition. We need to broaden our horizons a little bit. We need to look back to bring on more riders of all nationalities, and to do that we need some sort of cap on the amount of leagues you ride in, but at the moment I'm likely to see that happening anytime soon. For now, the months of June and part of July that have caused us such problems have beyond us. We've now got a very exciting few weeks, 7 home league matches to win to try and strengthen that position for a playoff, and hopefully a playoff to look forward to in September, as well as a little matter of defending the Knockout Cup with our round against Eastbourne. We look forward to enjoying the experience with you. I hope you've enjoyed this look into my thoughts at least of the fixture problems we've had, and we'll see you in next August's fanzine too.